found a safer place. You're not alone, we're standing by your side, helping you through every twist in the ride. With knowledge, care, and a voice that's true, the Disability Digest is here for you. We've walked the path, we've heard the fight, we know the pain that hides from sight. But every story matters, every win is real. Together we rise, together we heal. You're not alone, we're standing by your side, helping you through every twist in the ride. With knowledge, care, and a voice that's true, the Disability Digest is here for you. From the first form to the final claim, through doubts and fears, through hurt and strain, we're in this together, step by step we...
Happy Wednesday. Brian Terrian here from the Disability Digest. Welcome to our YouTube Live for today. Sorry, I was disrupted by my son calling me. Hi, Chance. Can't get you right now. At any rate, excited to spend some time with you today. We're going to share some information that will hopefully help you survive. Living on a fixed income or trying to get through the approval process sometimes becomes difficult. So we've learned some information from you, our members, that we want to share with you. So if you're new here, it's Brian Terrian. Thanks for joining. Nadine and Philip are here with me today, my trusted partners in these YouTube live events. So thank you for coming and joining. Yeah, so that's what we have on tap. And these events, if you haven't been here before, welcome. These are intended to be like a source of information. Like I was listening to the lyrics. And if you haven't paid attention to the lyrics of the song, thank you, Nadine, for creating it. You know, we want to be like a trusted partner that is here for you as a reliable source of information. So we hope you enjoy the show today. And if you do, share it with others. It makes the world go round. So yeah, we're going to talk about things to survive. But before we get started, a few things that are in the news. There's been recent information released by Social Security about the continuing disability reviews and the changes that are made. There's a full video that's out on our channel. So make sure you check that out and stay tuned into what is going to be happening. There's other informational releases that will be taking place, I'd say, over the next 5 to 7 days. The short story is this. They're increasing the funding for the continuing disability reviews by $52 million. And in this environment of the saving money in this administration, the reason why they're spending more money is because they're making an effort to get more money back. So here at the Disability Digest, one of the things that we focus on for disability recipients is to teach you like what to say and do in all your doctor's visits, how to prepare for a continuing disability review, all of those things. We have a course that's available with your membership that will teach you how to do this, survive your continuing disability review. So you're not one of those 144,000 people that loses their benefits every year. So that's one. On the other side of things, our efforts are to help you close the gap between those that apply for disability. On average, it's 1.9 million a year. And those that get approved, it's like 637,000. It's a massive gap. Some quit. Some find out they don't qualify. Some qualify and they just don't do it right. That's why we're here to help you, right? Philip Price is here. He runs one of the fastest growing, largest Facebook groups on the planet Earth, maybe even Mars too, that supports people through the disability approval process. You've got some questions from your group today, right?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
Yep. and Nadine will monitor the chat. So if you have questions out there, Nadine, you want to tell folks how they can submit questions and talk to us throughout the program?
Yes, sure. So everyone can send in their questions via the comment box below this video that you're watching, but you can also join us live later via Zoom. So I'll be sending you that link to join us later.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, good. One other thing that is in the news, and this is from my own perspective, is today is I'm completing my 19th year here at the Disability Digest. Um, and my thoughts on that from this perspective is I'm grateful for doing this work. I wasn't always. It's a whole different story. But I am grateful for the opportunity to serve. And I thank you as an audience out there for providing me with something to do that really is, for me anyway, it's fulfilling. I love to win. I like to see people get their benefits approved. I like to see them get all that they are entitled to. And when that finally clicked in with me, it gave me a whole new approach. I really appreciate people like Philip who are out here as a disability recipient contributing and bringing it all the time as the best he can. But I was thinking about this actually yesterday. It was really, really hot here in Vermont. And so I changed my office space to the beach, and I was kind of pondering like back through the whole from the inception of starting to now. And there's been a lot of things that have happened, but there hasn't been much that's really changed. And like in the very first days of the Disability Digest, one of the things that I did was I was like getting all of these questions about people struggling to get their benefits approved. And I reached out to Jonathan Ginsburg, who, if you've followed any YouTube work, he has a great channel. And I said, hey, you know what? Here's what's going on. Could I interview you? Because you have all the answers. And he was selling a book to help people apply. And he's like, yeah. So I did that. And I interviewed him, and the interview is still available in part of our disability approval course. He's one of the contributors and has been wonderful to work with. Um, but the point I want to make here is that people would listen to his interview and they're like, oh man, I got to buy a book and fill all these forms out. I really don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable. So that kind of led to the evolution of our two-part strategy to help people get approved, where we have a disability approval course, and it's been the same, really similar strategy since the beginning. We teach you all everything you need to know from Jonathan Ginsburg, Carl Osterhal, James Mitchell Brown, Michael Sexton, Barbara. These are all accomplished individuals in this space, and you can learn how to do it there. But for many people, they try, don't succeed, or they just don't want to, and that's really the business is the same. But over the years, we've definitely learned a lot more. And now for people that don't want to do it on their own, they can either be represented possibly by us or one of the other contributors to the disability approval course. So, at any rate, I'm just saying that, you know, oftentimes in business, you've got to develop new widgets and come up with all these other things. With us, it's just been a two-part strategy, and it's worked. It's helped literally thousands get approved. So again, thank you for being you, the members, allowing us to serve. In many ways, the last thing I'll add to this is I really wish I didn't have to do this work. Just being straight with you. I wish there wasn't problems out there like this. If we had an efficient Social Security Administration that would just understand things when you submit them, they wouldn't have all these wait times. They wouldn't like fire 10,000 people or let a bunch of them go. So their head count is way down. Then, the three of us here, I don't know what we'd be doing, but we would be doing something else rather than this. So for today, one of the things I will say, I mean, we had last year in 2024 was a really good year for Social Security because of the commissioner. All of those that like are in my type of seat were really optimistic. And then Commissioner O'Malley, as soon as Trump got elected, he's like, I'm out of here. He probably would have gotten released anyway, but so now we're back in challenging times. So that's the deal. All right, so let's get on with the show. What I'm going to share with you is some like tips of things that we have collected and learned over the time that we've been doing this, like I guess 19 years, right? And so if you have something out there that, you know, is a little nuance or something that you've learned that would benefit our audience, we're like a collective learning environment here, put it in the chat, shout out, Nadine will pick it up and share it. So you're looking at, if you're watching the screen here, you're looking at a website that may be difficult for you to read, but we will pin it in the chat towards the end here so you can, you know, you can go in and look at it. But here's a few things that I want you to be aware of if you are looking for solutions for financial and support. And I'm just going to list through them and you can go through them individually. One is 211. It's a service that you can call. You can access things like free legal aid or other resources that are in your area. One of the next one is county and social assistance and local monies at your level. At the county level, like oftentimes counties have funds set aside for certain causes. That could be housing, could be something to do with it, like a domestic violence situation or hardship. But look at your local county. There isn't a general structure across all counties in the US. One of the best, most relied on ones that we have used is Centers for Independent Living. And these exist in like every community in the US, and there are government funded agencies that service those that are sick, injured, or the senior population, and they provide services. And they have like housing council. They also have free legal aid. Many of them have benefit counselors. They have support groups. They have back to work tools. They don't all have the exact same structure, but if you are going through, or a disability recipient going through the process, one of your to-dos from today, I hope, if you haven't already, is to contact your local Center for Independent Living and find out what they have for resources that would help you out. Okay. Um, these phones that you have, they're no longer a luxury. You can get your phone paid for, replaced, your internet service. So check out your local emergency broadband service from an internet service provider. If you don't have an internet service provider, you check out those that are available in your area to see who has the best one. Department of Health and Human Services, another great resource, findhelp.org. And here is one tip before I get on to the last one, is the structure and the approach to contacting these. I'll give you an example. I recently contacted the Center for Independent Living here in Burlington because I was like, I'm a Vermonter. I want to help some out. So I offered to contribute and volunteer. So I sent in an email, I had my background, all the things that I've done. Um, and I sent it in, crickets. Didn't hear a thing. Called in, nothing, right? So there's two parts. Yes, I do want to volunteer and help local people here. But when you're approaching these agencies, this is not uncommon. Sometimes you have to be persistent for like, you know, a month or until you just don't stop. You have to be patient, persistent, and professional when you contact these. We've covered this in other sessions, and Nadine just did a segment on soft skills about how to approach. If you choose another approach, like the hardline approach that you're entitled, it's just not effective. So hopefully that will give you some, you know, framework for doing this. There's applications where you can use your local congressional office going through the approval process. If things gets strung out a long time. That's a common one. And we give you advice on that. If you've been approved and your back pay hasn't been paid, a lot of that's going on right now. You can use your congressional office. If you have housing situations, landlord issues. So that's number 8 that's on the list. So keep in mind that these are resources that you can use and benefit from. And like I said, that I will share this. I'm going to put it in the chat here so that Nadine can shout out, give it a shout out. And again, if you have something that you can share with us that you've used to survive, we'd love to hear from you on that as well. Okay. Now, how do we want to do this today? Philip, you want to go first? Nadine, what do you think? You guys call it.
Philip can go first.
Philip, so cordial.
All right. Before we get to the questions, Brian, I wanted to share something with you, get your opinion, and maybe you can a little bit. We've got a member that sent in a question to me and wanted our help on it. He had filed for his disability and was approved. And what it is, it's a workman's comp case that he had filed also, and he won his workman's comp case and won his SSDI benefits also. But what's happening is Social Security, because he was awarded his workman's comp case, they are reducing his benefit amount until the workman's comp is paid, which I believe he told me was going to be February. He got his first Social Security benefit payment last month in May, and then he's supposed to have the workman's comp paid back in February. And he's just wondering how that may affect him down the road, or will it?
Well, I think once he gets through February and he gets his check back, he'll be on track. The question, I believe, if I'm understanding this correctly, is can he do anything now so he can get from where he's at now back to $3,000? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yes.
So one is the work comp offset is the rule. If he has some grounds to, I don't know if it's a male or female, but I'm saying he. If there's grounds to dispute it, then you can, but the risk is this. If Social Security receives a dispute for onset date, work comp, or anything that's award related, they are notorious for some unknown reason for just shutting the entire award off. So he would go from approved to not approved. No partial check or anything. If it's okay with the risk, then you can go through if you have some evidence to support it. But if there's no evidence to support it, this is how workman's comp goes. My take, based on what what I'm hearing, is I would grin and bear it because of the risk of if unless you have a smoking gun evidence. That's just it. Now, if he does appeal it and his benefits get turned off, he can go back and appeal that and likely end up in court in a few years and get it turned back on. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give everybody a shout out. If you're going through the approval process and you have workers' compensation and you're kind of riding both right now, it's really important that well, to me anyway, that you understand that you can prevent this. How? Is in your workers' compensation paperwork award letter, there is a rule called the Hartman rule. And what that will do is it will amortize, it will spread out the amount of workers' compensation from being one lump sum, like I expect happened to this guy. He took a big hit one time in 1 year or 2 years when he received his work comp back pay. And it'll spread that out. So let's say it's a $30,000 work comp back pay. If all of that is allocated right now, it's going to offset your check and your back pay. Could wipe it out. But if that workers' compensation case is, which most of them are for permanent damage, and it's spread over your lifetime and you're going to live another 30 years, then from the actuary tables, then that's only $1,000 a year. Not a big deal on your monthly check or your back pay. Minimal. So if that's like too much for you, if you're not a member here at the Disability Digest yet, join us, no cost. Get in, talk to an advocate, get in our disability approval course. We can give you the information that will you pass on to your work comp attorney and get that cleaned up. Did I check all the boxes on that one, Philip?
I believe so.
Okay.
And let's give a shout out to Robert. That was Robert is the member in my Facebook group that I'm talking with, and
All right.
I'm sure he'll be contacting him on it and having some more questions about it. All right, let's move on to today's questions from the Facebook group. First one here is, my husband filed for disability 3 times, denied all 3 because of non-medical records. Someone help me understand if this doctor sent all the medical records over every time he goes to the doctor. Why does he keep getting denied? Every week he calls the lawyer's office, his firm always giving him the runaround. What can I do? Or any good lawyers that really care about the clients? Anyone, please help.
Philip, what's your take on this question? Is this a matter of medical records not getting sent over?
Sounds like the medical records were sent, but for whatever reason, they didn't, or I guess Social Security just didn't get them put into the case file. That's what I'm reading. Is that he had plenty of medical records and they were sent in, they just didn't get it attached to the case file.
Here's a thought on this. Are you guys sitting down? Good. Is this individual can request a case file from their representative or from Social Security, and then look at the medical records that are on file. And the ones that are missing, then you can either ask your representative, I say representative because it could be attorney or non-attorney, to work with you to get those submitted, or if they are not willing and don't do that as a service to help you get approved, then you've got to fill the evidence gap by actually going into your patient portal, downloading the medical records, getting them to Social Security via some type of confirmed receipt to fill that gap. But first step is awareness. What is really going on in that case file? The other tip I might have is if you're getting the proverbial runaround, see if you can find somebody else in that representative office that will assist you.
Next question. Laura says, if I have brain damage and have been considered unable to work permanently, if I miss a phone interview because they won't answer, is it on me I've called a million times after getting a notice in the mail about a phone review. I leave messages, they don't answer. I won't quote what she said here. And
You're
and
going to
I'm
keep the program
but
PG.
yeah. And she says, "What am I supposed to do?"
All right, that's a good one. So this is this for a continuing disability review? Is that what you think it is, or?
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah, me too. I would respond in writing. There isn't any clear playbook on this one, but I'd say I received your call at this point in time, called back. You're welcome to have my phone records for the times that I called back, but I made an effort. And then I would just,
Yeah,
so listen,
yeah. Be sure. Yeah,
I'll just
be
vent.
sure anything you send them, send it certified and keep copies of everything so that you've
Yeah,
got proof.
yeah. So you've done your thing. Um,
Yeah,
our interactions with Social Security, are like really, really challenging. They get bad quick. And it's the same with other individuals that are out there. So we have to keep in mind that uh, the administration got doged and 10,000 people are like, they're down in headcount. And um, it's going to be this way for a while. Even when they ramp back up, the Social Security new hire onboarding takes like 2 years for people to get up to speed. So you're going to have people answering the phone. Another thing you need to be conscious of is like, are you getting the real deal? Are you getting the right information? So that's the world that we're living in. We have to play, the hand we've been dealt. I don't know if this is like encouraging or inspiring. I don't expect so, but it is.
yeah. What you addressed earlier about being consistent and diligent on
Yeah.
staying in contact with them or trying to get in contact with them.
Yeah.
All right, next one. I just saw I have been taken out of step 4. They denied me. I am waiting for the letter in the mail to come and explain my denial. In the meantime, do I start the appeal now? Do I try to get in contact with disability lawyer? I just don't know what comes next. This is my first time applying.
Right.
I
So,
applied back in August.
yep. Join us as a member, speak with an advocate, get into the disability approval course. There's a specific section for the reconsideration appeal. It'll show you what to look for in the award letter. That's what you ideally want. What to look for in the denial letter. There's 3 key things that you want to look for. It will show you how to phrase your appeal, so you can then consider if you want to do it all on your own. Or if you would like help, then you can speak with us about that option if that's something that you're interested in. Um, the 3 things that you want to look for, real briefly, is you want to look at the medical records, see if they have them all, like all dates, everything. You want to look at how they rated the severity of your conditions, like mild, moderate, or severe. Was that all in line with your medical records? And then are they like diagnoses? Are they missing any diagnoses or medications? Those are like some of the fundamentals that you'll learn that from the course. You need the letter. Otherwise, you don't know what you're appealing.
Yeah. All right. Next to the last one here, it says, just wondering, I have a CE appointment coming up, mental and physical. Should I take x-rays, MRIs with me that I had done?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say in our disability approval course, again, this is one of the lessons that we have, is there's 7 key things to do to prepare and go to make this a successful experience. One of those 7 is to bring either a summary, ideally, and some real smoking gun evidence that you have into that CE. And the reason why you want to do that is you want to say, this is what I have. Like if you've got degenerative disc disease and it's been imaged and it shows up, yeah, right, then you bring that and you show them the picture. So they're going to do an evaluation that is in line with that. That's the premise of doing it. So yes, do that. I mean, do you want to bring your entire medical history, like a big fat stack of things? That's not necessary, but definitely a summary and some key things.
All right. Next one. I have applied for my widow disability or at 1 year and 4 months ago. I am back in the hospital for pneumonia and another seizure. Now they did a MRI and said I have early onset dementia. I know I have to send this all into them, for my case worker at the hospital said I should qualify, or it should qualify me for compassionate, I think she means compassionate allowance, Social Security disability. Is that true about dementia?
I don't know. It depends really on the severity of it. So a
Yeah,
diagnosis doesn't trigger compassionate allowance approval or anything. It's like there's people that have stage 4 cancer. That's a compassionate allowance, but stage 4 cancer, in many instances, I'll just use an example. Let's say it's pancreatic cancer and it's stage 4. That's one thing that wouldn't meet a compassion allowance. But if it penetrated like some of the key organs that are listed in this listing of compassionate allowance, then yeah, it, it could. So just the diagnoses alone, no. Um, the severity of it, having it clearly communicated to Social Security so they understand it, that's the name of the game.
yeah. All right, we're at the last one for today.
Okay.
Says I was recently approved for SSDI based on my own work credits during the time of my many appeals. My husband started an LLC with his and my name and now has a business. I do not work for him, or am I on the payroll? Do I still qualify for benefits? Do I have to report, although I have never received a dollar from it?
All right. You want to chime in on this one? Or you want to kick it back to?
I'll just leave it up to you to explain that one.
So what you have here is you are a participant in an asset. And for your Social Security disability benefits, what would impact your benefits is what they refer to as substantial gainful activity, SGA, which is you're actually working. Like, believe it or not, this is work here. Like I'm engaging with you, I'm doing something. But owning something would not. So in that situation, you're fine. Now, you could also go a layer further if that business was something that you owned and you were receiving unearned income out of it, like a dividend. That is also get with your tax person to make sure it's categorized properly. But that also would be okay. So you can have passive income, you can have assets, but it's the engagement.
That was the last one. Nadine?
All right,
All
Nadine.
right. Thank you
Thank you,
so much
fella.
for that,
Yeah.
Philip. And before I post the Zoom link for those who want to join us live in the Q&A here in the live, I just want to say shout out to all of our audience today, Brian. We do have a lot of them participating in the comment section. So we got people watching from Virginia, from Connecticut, from Pennsylvania, from all over. And we have a shout out here from Luana. She says, "Good afternoon, Brian and everyone. I'm so happy to catch up with all of you on the live. Thank you so much. We are all so happy to have all of you here as well." So here we go. So I'm posting the link for Zoom. And before joining us, I would encourage those of you who'd like to join us live to please drop your questions in the comments or send it via Zoom chat. And we also kindly ask that you use the same name on YouTube and Zoom so that we can easily recognize you. Okay? So the link is already in the comment to those of you who would like to join us live. But while we wait for someone to join us, Brian, I do have a couple of questions here for you. So one is from John, John Hines. I received my award letter and my first check for SSDI. What do I do now? Congratulations, by the way.
Yes, you have beat the odds. All right, so your award letter and first check, what about back pay?
Uh, didn't mention. He just said that he received his.
Um, if it was me, I'd want to know like what my back pay is, when I'm going to get it, where is it? So that would be number one. So the award letter that you have, there's a few key things that are in there. On the very top of it, it's going to say you are entitled to benefits as of this month. Let's say you are entitled to benefits as of January 1st, 2024, right? So 24 months from that date, you will be Medicare eligible, which would be January of 2026 coming up. So that's number one. Whatever you're doing for insurance now, you want to start, understanding how Medicare works, what your options are, so that you can be prepared and enrolled. Then the other things that you want to look at, of course, back pay, taxes related to your back pay are listed also in that award letter. There's a piece in there that will say, if your condition changes or you return to work, notify Social Security. You want to adhere to that. So those are some of the key things. If you're a member here at the Disability Digest, we provide a benefit review service. It's part of your no-cost membership. There's no charge for this, where we have benefit professionals you get on the phone with. They're going to collect some information. You can send them your award letter. They'll go through your benefits, what you should be paying for, what you shouldn't be paying for, other things that you're potentially entitled to. It goes all the way down to like your zip code. So I'd take advantage of that. And once you join us as a member, or if you're already a member, just reach out to us now and we'll change your membership from not being approved to approved. So you get this type of information as well. But yeah, congratulations. Last thing is, don't do any stupid stuff to lose your benefits, like horseback riding and filming it and putting it on your social media, you know, if you have a back injury.
All right. Thanks so much, Brian, for that. Now we have someone who wants to join us live, Stacy. She has a question about FMLA paperwork, so I'm gonna let her in.
Okay.
There. Hi, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy. I think she's
So
on mute. There she goes.
there.
Can you see me? No.
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you. We don't
We
see you,
can,
but we can hear
we
you.
can, we can hear you.
Give me a
We
second.
cannot see you.
Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I had YouTube playing in my background.
I hope it was something interesting.
Yeah. Are we up for Q&A?
Yes.
Cool. I had a question in reference to FMLA. I'm a 100% disabled vet, but I had FMLA through a company that I worked with before. Should I add that documentation to my packet to, I guess, help it?
When you say to your packet, like, are you referring to a disability application?
Yes.
It could be beneficial. Is there anything in there that communicates why you're not able to work? And
Yes. It spoke about PTSD and my migraines, how they come and go, and they can last for 1 day, they can last for 3 days.
okay, yeah, so that sounds like it definitely would be. Yep, that'd be evidence for sure. And then your 100% rating, if you don't mind my asking, Stacy, how long have you had that?
February last year.
Okay, is that P&T or just at
Yes,
100?
sir. It's PNT.
Okay, all right. So you were working after you had the 100% P&T, is that right?
No.
Okay, all right. So you definitely want to have that included in there.
Okay.
Um, want me to keep going with a few others?
Sure. What I did is when I initially um, the Disability Digest couldn't do some kind of paperwork, but I had a phone interview, and they sent me more documents and said, okay, when you have your phone interview, these are the things they're going to ask you. I went through the phone interview, and the tail end of the interview, I mentioned that I was 100% permanent total, and she literally linked it right over the phone and said, "Yeah, I can see it, and you should be good to go."
Okay, that's good. Good. So you're working with us on your case?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. No other way to go.
great. Thanks. So right now you're just, where are you at? Like you just started your application after that interview?
We're at, I think I was at stage 3, and I got literally a letter and a phone call from the representative in Florida saying it referenced they need very important to speak with you about my medical records. And I got a case number, and I called them twice already, but I replied to an email and said, "Hey, this is my documents that I had. It's my case number, and the Disability Digest is going to pick it up from there."
Okay. So are you saying that Social Security emailed you?
No, I was emailing corresponding with Disability
Oh,
Digest.
oh, okay.
I,
I guess it's
I was just kind of keeping them in the loop. Look, this is what I have, you know,
right.
and that portion of it.
All right.
And I remember you got to be responsive. When they send information, you got to respond to it right away.
Yep. So
So
Steve,
yes, sir.
one more time. When did you have the phone interview?
April,
Okay.
April of this year.
All right. So if they do their job properly, you should have May, June, July, August. You should have like September have your decision.
Oh, nice. I
Yeah.
just want to give them all the information they can. I kind of want to have the silver bullet. I want to give it to them so
Right.
they'll,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't want to like oversell it. I say should because you're with 100% rating, there's an expedite process for a decision that they're expected to adhere to 5 months or less. So
yeah.
fingers
Wow.
crossed. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Anything else on your mind we can help you with?
No, I'm super excited. The response from the team is blowing my wig back because I literally shot an email saying, "Hey, look, um, I got a phone interview, and it came last minute, but it still came. And hey, look, this is your documents. This is what they're going to ask." And I was like, "Wow!" So I'm
Oh,
kind of stoked on that.
good. That's great. Well, one, thank you for being you and your service. I'm very
Cool.
grateful for that. And two, thank you for placing your trust in us to help you get your benefits approved. We love to. So, yeah, yeah. It'd be awesome if you pop back in here once you get your decision. Catch us up,
Yes, sir. Will do.
share your situation. So, all right.
Yes, sir.
Good
All
stuff.
right.
Thank,
Be well.
thank you
Thank
so
Thank you.
you
Stacey.
much.
so
You
much,
bet.
Stacy.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
All
Thank
right.
you, Stacy, for your
You,
service.
you got it, great lady. Have a good one.
So, Brian, we still got a couple of questions here in the YouTube comment. So, one here says, "Hi, Brian. I'm 56 on SSDI. I receive an 827 and 454. Any advice how to get through this? My stress is shot and I shouldn't be worried, but I am. Never missed an appointment or medication."
So 827, I know. What was the other number? 254?
454.
Oh, short form. Okay. So yeah, you're in a disability review, continuing disability review. And these do definitely freak people out because it's like your livelihood. So the best advice that I can give you is here at the Disability Digest, we have a how to survive your CDR course. 10 segments put together with attorney James Mitchell Brown, industry expert who's been here as a guest speaking several times. Join us as a member. You'll get that I think it's scheduled for 7 days after you join if you're approved. If you need it sooner, just contact support. You'll be connected with the support desk like right after you join. So follow that in there for the 454. Attorney Brown goes through. I'm French. I talk with my hands. That's why I got this going on. He goes through and breaks down like how to answer the questions. So it's like put the video on, you have your form, right? And away you go. So for those of you that are out there, I want you to know that yes, we have this course. This is great. We also have another layer of protection for people, which is called a benefit protection service. So I mentioned the benefit review earlier. If we review somebody's benefit and we suggest an option for them that has to do with their Medicare coverage and we enroll them, all the Medicare plans cost the same for everybody. It's just that we're agents, and there's several of us here that are insurance agents that can work with a variety of companies. So if we enroll you in one of those companies, then that entitles you to get into the benefit protection program. And what that program does is in the case of the review like this, you would go through, you would do the review, you'd fill out the paperwork, you have the ability to send it back into us. Our team would take a look at it and make sure that it's answered properly in line with the expectations that are in Attorney Brown's course. You would send that into Social Security, and hopefully that's it, you're done. If it's not and it's gone to the next level, our legal team would get involved, and same group that helps people get approved, provide you another layer of protection for the appeal on that. If it keeps going and goes to court, then we would help you with court. We cover the first $500 of legal fees, which is usually about enough to cover these things. So those are some of the ways in which you can protect yourself. This individual's, I don't know if they're in the benefit protection program or not already, but it just kind of connects the dots to some of the services. Why do we offer this and why is there no charge for the benefit protection program? We are paid by insurance companies to educate you, keep you enrolled in a plan and a program. So for us, it's a win-win, I view, because we want to keep you in your Social Security pay status so you're on your Medicare. And it's a win for you because it doesn't cost you anything. It's built into the cost of Medicare, which has got its own issues going on. So just a heads up for folks that are out there. If this is of interest to you, like right now, I'll get back to you, Nadine. I'm on a rant. I had a lot of caffeine this morning. Um, uh, if this is of interest to you, then the time to have your benefits reviewed is like now. I know all the Medicare commercials and stuff fire up at the end of the year, but for us, we have a limited amount of agents and trained people that can do this. Now is a good time because when you get to like the end of August, September, it's just the bandwidth isn't there and people get annoyed with us. So I'm just telling you. Right. So if you, when you join us as a member, you'll get an invite to have your benefits reviewed. If you're already a member and you haven't received it or missed it, just reach out to support. Okay.
All right. Next question. This is from John Fallon. He says, "What happens if you're on Social Security disability with a workman's comp pending for the last couple of years?" He didn't mention how many years though.
Right. So let's say you get a, well, let's just, you're going to get approved for your disability benefits. I'm taking the optimistic high route. Nothing has happened yet for a decision on your work comp. So it would have no impact on your disability benefits, but they can connect the dots later. So now is a perfect time to get the Hartman rule in place with whoever is working on your work comp case.
Okay. Another question from Aris. I'm leaving my area for about 3 to 6 months. Do I need to notify SSA?
When you say leaving your area, my answer is no. And the reason why I was processing that is if you're staying within the United States, it's not a problem. If you're going abroad, I believe it's 6 months that you can be outside of the United States, up to 6 months, and have no impact on your disability benefits. I just fact checked that. I'm like 96% sure that that's the number.
Okay, so as long as he doesn't get out of the United States for more than 6 months, then there's no need to report it to SSA, right? All right, so next question from Victoria. What happens when I'm on SSDI and I receive a windfall for workman's comp? I'm 64 years old and I have been on SSDI for 3 years.
Well, yeah, I feel like we're getting the workers' comp episode today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what could happen is what I just mentioned in that question is you could have an offset on your Social Security. So same response, then you want to get the Hartman rule implemented into your decision letter. This is like, doesn't cost anything to do it so that you can make sure that's amortized out.
So this next one, I'm not sure if it's a question or if he's just stating a fact, but he said, I received my disability. I filed March 2024, receive it June 2025. So congratulations. I went to the front line. What's a hip replacement? So
So not sure if that's like had a hip replacement, got
yeah,
approved. It sounds like at the initial decision level. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, yeah, those are all the questions that I have from
All
the
right.
comment section.
All right. A few things while we wrap up here. Nadine will put a link into the how to survive topics that I posted in our chat. Yeah.
Yep.
So what we share with you in these events is, general information and answering questions. The best way for us to help you is to join us as a member or update us as a member. And you can do that by going to the disabilitydigest.com. There'll be a green button there that you can join us. And the reason why that's the best way is what you learn from this, or maybe even just a shorter video, is just segments. But a customized plan is, we just are not able to help you out with that until you register, complete your profile. It helps us understand like where you're at in the process. Are you trying to get approved? If so, are you at have you applied? Are you applied and waiting, applied and denied, waiting for a hearing? Or if you're already approved, are you like the individual that just got their award letter? Or have you been approved for years? Like all of those things help us understand which one of the primary 6 key educational channels that we put you in to help you get your benefits and get everything that you're entitled to. So that's the best way. Now, if you've been around for a while and you're a member, you can just click that green button and update us, and it will put us right back in. Maybe you were with us when you were going through the approval process and you just approved. That's one way to update your membership. Yeah, a few other things. As far as the financial component of it today is, we are at the Disability Digest. We are blessed that we are growing. Yeah, your membership is free, but we're a for-profit. We offer services like the Medicare service, disability approval services that are separate from your membership, but that allows us to financially survive, so we're not dependent on the government. And we're hiring. We're looking for especially disability recipients that can come here and join and connect with our members and make a difference. So if you're looking for something to do, then you can inquire about that. We also, if that's not your thing or in addition to, we have a refer a friend program where you could refer somebody here that needs help going through the approval process. And we would like to have you like help them so they don't quit and they follow directions, whether they want to get approved on their own or whether they want to use a representation. That doesn't matter. We just want to help them get approved. And we pay you up to $200 for doing that. So some of that right away when they get approved, and right away when they join, and then the other part when they get approved. So those are just a few of the things that we hope you find value in. All right, we cover everything? Yeah.
Think so.
Philip, Nadine, everybody, round of applause for them, please. They're here every week doing an amazing job helping you out. So again, I want to thank you all for providing me with something to do that keeps me out of trouble and provides purpose, value as I finish my 19th year, looking forward to another 10 here at least, paying for college tuitions and such. So
All right.
we'll be back next week, right?
Yep.
We'll see you all next week.
All right, everybody. God bless. Make it a
Bye.